So it's the afternoon of September the 26th, beginning to seem quite autumnal. You can see the sheep there in the distance. These aren't very friendly sheep. Usually the sheep come up to this fence and talk to you, but these, as soon as you get within 20 feet, they're off. Anyway, roses. Now, Princess Alexandra of Kent has been very disappointing in this position under the pear tree, so maybe it's my fault. Pear tree's done very well. Tiny flowers. We haven't had any of the huge flowers that I had last year at all. Desdemona looking brilliant. Lovely flower. The oranges and purples there are dahlias. Nice thing about dahlias is that they flower continuously, so you don't get gaps between them like you do with roses. But roses are beautiful. So here we have Lady of Shalott. Not quite sure whether to expect another major flush or not with this. Maybe, because we've got the foliage, new foliage coming through. Perhaps it will depend on the weather. Eustacia Vi, David Austin. Slightly disappointing this year, as many of my roses have been. Usually covered with flowers non-stop. Not so much this year. Dahlias again. That's quite a nice yellow one. Cheerful. The ancient mariner. I've cut quite a lot off the top recently. So these cuts are about 5 foot. Whereas it's still going up to well over 6 foot. Crocosmia. Is it Emily Mackenzie, I think the name is, the variety. Golden Celebration. Lovely yellow. It's a shame it tends to bend down. The Poet's Wife. She has flowered exceptionally well this year. It's quite a big shrub now. It's 3 feet across in places and 4 foot tall. And I deadheaded this section yesterday. Each of those had a flower on the end, so you can imagine what that was like. Gabriel Oak. Still quite a lot of flowers on Gabriel. I've got a Gertrude Jekyll here, and it seems to want to turn into a climber because it's just gone up and up and up and up. That's at least 7 foot, maybe 8 foot tall now. Queen of Sweden. I wasn't very happy with this in a pot because since the flowers are all at the top of the tall stems, the flowers are above your head and you couldn't see into them. So I planted it in the ground, but it hasn't Been a good year for the Queen of Sweden. I'm not sure whether I want to keep it. Foliage is looks fairly glossy in your picture, but looks fairly dull and miserable here. Anyway, what else is going on? Still got the French marigolds cheering the place up. Various climbers. This one is sent from heaven. And we've got Westerland here. And there's a flower on Westerland. Bit droopy. Is that sent from heaven or Westerland? It's difficult to tell. And this one was another climber I planted at the same time. I can't remember what this one's called. Oh, Peach Melba. Looks healthy enough, but it hasn't produced many flowers. And this is a south-facing fence, so you'd have thought it would do better. Got the bees at work. Here's a bee hiding. Oops. Some yellow flowers. We've got Golden Wedding Anniversary, I think it's called. That's a nice rose. It's surprised me. It's turned out better than I expected. Lots of birds fluttering around inside the bushes here. And this is it a different one or is it the same one? I think it might be the same one. We've got Ab Fab down here somewhere. I can't quite see, it's too difficult to disentangle. Elizabeth. Now this fairly hefty stem collapsed under the weight. These flowers are larger than usual, or larger than I expect. The stem would have been about 5 foot tall, I think, whereas most of the shrub is about 3 foot, 3'6". Got a piece. Huge flower. Huge. A bit prone to black spot. As is this one. What's it called? Begins with an M, I think, but I can't remember the rest of it. Sweet Honey. Had a lot of flowers on it before I deadheaded yesterday, but the flowers they looked good from a distance, but close up they were beginning to turn brown. But looking good for more flowers to come. And that's at least 6 foot tall. Mum in a Million. Silas Marner, I don't know Silas. What's annoying is that it seems to be doing reasonably well this year, though the flowers aren't, to my eye, that attractive. But it's been one of those octopus roses for me. Just spreading out horizontally. And in here we've got, what what have we got? We've got Emily Bronte at the back. And we've got Tranquility here. Problem I've had with Tranquility is that it's a bit of a droopy rose. So I'm not sure. Mildew. Yeah, there's traces of mildew on Sweet Honey. Not that bad. One treatment is apparently a mix of milk and water sprayed over it. Chandos Beauty. It's had a difficult start with me because it wasn't a good rose to start with, but it's now beginning to look like a very nice rose indeed. Dame Judy Dench still sending out some flowers, but it's done so well over this year that I think it deserves a rest. One of my favourites, Alpine Sunset. Again, a big rose there. I deadheaded quite a lot of Munstead wood yesterday, but that one I thought I'd keep. Peter's Persica. I've ordered another one of those. And this is Apricot Queen Elizabeth. Doing very nicely. There's nothing on Rosemary Harkness at the moment apart from that. But as I've said before, this is only 1 year old. It's its first real year with me, and that is a solid stem. There's another one there, and the foliage is very healthy. I always forget the name of this one. For Your Eyes Only, maybe. Now, I've mentioned before Evelyn Fyson and said that the flowers last for ages, which they do, but I've also mentioned the black spot, and you can see there's a lot there now this time of year. Susan Williams Ellis, I think she's going. Nice enough, but not nice enough to keep. Molyneux. Nice bright flowers. Oh, I didn't point out the Ancient Mariners there. And hanging down there as well. Behind the Sweet Honey. Olivia Rose Austin hasn't done much for me this year. Its first year, maybe next year. Do we have anything else? Oh, there's Penelope Lively. She's not in the greatest position, but she hasn't really done well for me this year again. Well, when I say again, I mean this year for the first time, but like another rose, hasn't done well. Rose nostalgia. No, it just needs deadheading really, doesn't it? And traces of black spot coming here too. But that's what you expect this time of year. Generous gardener, starting to produce hips. And Bathsheba not producing anything much. Right, let's get back to our sheep. How long before they take fright as I approach the fence? They're looking. The second one from the... Oh no, he thinks he's safe. Or she thinks she's safe. Right, I'll leave you there.